Good morning, traders. It is Monday, March the 18th. Today we were planning on launching to start releasing our updated members area with an application where we've got streaming portfolio and charts and get back into the SMS text alerts and a bunch of other features that we'll unveil. Each week we'll be adding some new features, but our programmer's father passed away last week, and it's not going to get out live for today. We're hoping to have it up and running more or less by Friday, if not Monday. So there's a little bit delay there, but overall, really exciting stuff coming together for the members area, so we can get more active, get into more of these short-term stock plays, and have everything tracked. You can see the charts, you can see our cycles, our gap plays. All of our analysis will eventually be shown and updating in the members area, so you can log in. It'll be a complete trader application that really lets you see the market and trade based on if you want to be a short-term intraday trader or a longer-term trader. Everything will be there, complete with the emails and SMS alerts. So that'll be coming and unfolding each week. We'll be kind of releasing and expanding on the features. It's going to be a really great way for it to run and for everything to be happening in real time. You can see what's going on in the members area and on our charts. But let's just jump into the charts this morning. The SP 500 relatively flat, up about 0.1%. NASDAQ flat on the session. Overall, we're kind of getting overextended here, looking for a pullback to come into the markets this week. Last week was triple witching options, and usually we see, depending on how their options are positioned, they're going to want the markets to close higher. Everyone was very bearish in the market. They're going to want a strong close. They end up closing strong on the session, and statistics show that we should see the market pull back within a week after triple witching. And a lot of other things are kind of coming together that the market is set up for more of a pullback as well. If we take a look at the VIX continues to push down to some long-term lows. Just zoom back a bit. We're getting right down into this area last time where we saw a huge pop in volatility, and that means the equities market had a sharp correction. So we're getting down to that point here where the market could very easily have a sharp sell-off going forward, and that's what we're looking for this week, is for a pop and a spike in the VIX, and we'll see if we get it and how big it goes. We are net short with our Tech S ETF. If we go to Tech S, it's short the tech sector. It's been poking down to nominal new lows, and we've been getting elevated volume. Typically, we see elevated volume during turning points in the market. You start to see these large spikes in the market. We're getting increased volume here as well. You can see over here, usually when you get this increased volume, you're getting to a significant turning point in the market. And where I'm looking for a strong pop to the upside in the Tech S that could be fairly substantial in the equities market in general and really shake things up. So that's what we're looking for going forward here. The other play is our dust. We are short miners. Dust has been coming down. Same type of thing. Very large volume in terms of trying to put in a bottom here. We did pop up, break this previous high. We're fading down, and it has had a little pop to the upside. At any point here, we could potentially have a very sharp rally in dust. And if we take a look at the GDX ETF, you can see a little bit better. We've gone from, to draw on the charts here, we've gone from more or less a basing formation, a breakdown zone, where it formed a base, and then it ended up having a rally and a breakout, a bull flag, another rally, a bull flag, and then it came up and got into some extended price gaps up until long-term resistance from way back on the chart in time, which is where we called more or less the market should top out on this day or this day, and it ended up doing that, and we've pulled back to break this previous low, and now it's forming what looks to be a little bit of a bear flag, and on the short-term basis, we've got a 2-day bear flag forming that could potentially start a larger pullback in the miners, and that's what we're looking for. Looking over at the dollar is down at support. It is trading lower today. It'll be threatening and pushing down on this support trend line, but overall it is still channeling to the upside, bouncing up this support trend line. It did gap up there with Brexit last week and sell back down, gapped up into resistance. Overall, we'll see if it can get some traction this week. If it does start to bounce and move up, That will definitely put a leg down in the precious metals, which is what we're looking for. So we'll see how this unfolds going forward with the dollar at support this week, and it should start to find some support there. Looking over at gold, here's the gold chart. Gold does look bearish. It's broken down and it's been forming this bear flag stuck under the 20-day. Hopefully we'll get some traction here to the downside and start to see this move down. Potential 1260, 1240 to the downside, and that will flush the market out. Miners should sell off fairly substantially, and that could set up for a new long position in miners and in gold as it unwinds and moves down. Now looking over at energies, natural gas down, or sorry, up 0.5%. More or less came down to this long-term support zone at the 255, had a really nice bounce. We played this bounce for about 30% gain, and now it's consolidating. We are looking for a continued move down to around the 270 area. If we zoom into this chart, we are looking for more or less this move to the downside. We had three, you could almost call inside days up, and then another down day. More or less, this is a bearish pattern, and we'll see if this can continue to the downside. This bear flag, we see it move down. We want to see it come down to around the 270. That's this breakout area in the in natural gas where it came down and formed this W bottom that we traded and played up into this area. This will act as a support zone somewhere down in here and complete this little bear flag that is forming. We could potentially get long natural gas for a move up to, if we stretch this chart, it would be all the way up to the 3 or potentially 315 mark. So there is lots of room to the upside if we do get a flush out and a type of reversal pattern that we like here. Crude oil up 0.25%, continues to, it broke out of this channel, popped up last week. It's holding its ground above the 5-day. If we zoom back on the chart, you can see the next resistance area is going to be around the $61.90, $62 per ounce, and continues to kind of hold its ground and is moving up to the upside. If the dollar does have a strong bounce here, I think we could see this fizzle right back down to the lower end, but overall it is trending to the upside, holding its ground above the 5-day. It looks like it'll continue to kind of work its way up there this week. Last but not least, let's take a quick look over at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, if we draw on the chart real quick, you can see going from these highs right across the chart here. Bitcoin's starting to break out today. It's got a pop to the upside. It is going to be right into resistance right across this previous high over here. So we'll see if it gets sold off. We've seen that type of price action where it pops up near resistance and then sells off with some big bars. We'll see what kind of price action it gets. Overall, it is showing some on-balance volume. We are starting to push up this blue line here, so there is accumulation going on in Bitcoin, and it is threatening this first kind of breakout of this trend line and this previous high. If it does break, I think it's going 45, 5,000, and I think it could very easily go to the 5,500 mark. Going back in time, this will be the next really high volume level where it consolidated. It stopped and traded sideways and continued on for a 4-day period there. So that'll be a very significant resistance area if Bitcoin does start to break out here. Anyways, that's it for this morning. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye-bye.